All right, so whenever you guys are ready.
Hi, my name is Matt Messer. These are my partners.
Ray Schmitz.
Paul Ramstock, John Bogarel.
We are Uprise Sponsorship, a user-friendly website service that connects amateur athletes with growing athletic businesses for the best possible sponsorship experience. Put yourself in somebody else's ski boots for just a moment. You've spent the last 10 years teaching yourself tricks, collecting photos and videos, and most of all spending money on gear. You think you're finally good enough to get a sponsor, but in this competitive world, you can't stand out against anybody else. This is where we come in, with a website that is free for athletes to create profiles in order to reach out to companies. It costs around $1,500 for a full set of ski gear that is constantly getting replaced. This is where we come in. By providing a website where athletes can reach companies, companies will be able to friend free gear to athletes in exchange for exposure towards that athlete's surroundings. One athlete and company profile that benefited off this system is Candide Thovex and Quicksilver. Candide started young and with a low budget and was sponsored while he was still young. He's able to give Quicksilver a lot of exposure in the French Alps, and he can now ski for free and now makes a living off of his skiing. This is what a athlete profile would look like on our website. So when companies are sponsoring people, they're looking for one thing, and that is exposure towards that athlete's following. We talked to a fair amount of companies and came up with exactly what they wanted. They wanted a simplistic profile with a large database of athletes that they could handpick from and file down exactly who they want. So that's what we decided to give them. This is what a company profile would look like.
So our target market for athletes is made up of athletes ages 10 to 25, because we've talked to athletes as young as 10 and as old as 25. Also, they must be active on social media, because a company is more likely to give a sponsorship to someone who is active on social media than someone who isn't, because it means more exposure for the company. And then finally, they must be able to constantly participate in their sport. Our target market for companies are smaller scale companies like J Skis, not a large company like Burton that would sponsor someone like Shaun White. Also, they must be looking to sponsor undiscovered athletes and looking to expand their exposure. So as of right now, we have no direct competitors. However, Open Sponsorship is an indirect competitor because they're going after a larger target market of higher scale athletes like LeBron James, who is a well-known professional athlete, and Shaun White, who is an Olympic caliber pro athlete. Therefore, they're not going after the same target market. So as you saw earlier, Uprise Sponsorship offers in-depth profiling that displays all essential information about the companies. And also they have an About Me section where the athlete is able to describe themselves as much as they want. And once the users get to know each other through profiling, they're able to message each other through the message feature on our site. And although Open Sponsorship is an indirect competitor, we found their website interface to be a little bit difficult to navigate. And since one of our goals is to create the best possible sponsorship experience, we're going to make sure that our website is as simple and straightforward as possible. So according to Statista, our total addressable market is 3,600 businesses, which represents the number of athletic and outdoor companies across America. And right off the bat, we can eliminate 50% of those, which would leave us with 1,800 companies. And we can do this because we're not going after the big companies like Burton. And from there, if we talk to one company per day for a whole year, we would be left with 365 businesses contacted. And then if we would assume that around 5% will be willing to join our site, which would leave us with 18 customers served in year one.
So currently for our free marketing tactics, we are contacting both businesses and athletes on Instagram through direct messaging. This has been very effective for us and we have seen great results. We have almost 150 followers and we have received good feedback from these athletes and businesses. We tell them what we have to offer and they tell us what they're looking for in a sponsorship. We have a Google spreadsheet where we keep track of everyone we have talked to and everyone we follow, and we are able to categorize this by their sports, and it serves as good information for us of how we can change our business model in the future. Although we contact both businesses and athletes, we definitely are able to contact and reach more athletes. So as a result, we are contacting a lot of businesses through emails. We have contacted 50 businesses via email, 15 of which we've had good conversations with, and 10 of which of the 15 said they would be more than willing to join our service once it's up and ready and they actually have a pool of athletes to choose from. As far as paid marketing tactics go, we want to create some sort of low budget pamphlet or brochure that we could easily hand out that would sum up what we're all about and get them interested in contacting us or joining our service. We would go to trade shows or venues or just places like Wilmot Mountain where there are a lot of athletes present. Through talking with 15 businesses, we've concluded that we were going to charge $50 a month. We got this number from what they said they'd be willing to pay to use our service. Some said they'd be willing to pay over $100. Some said they'd be willing to pay $75. Some said $25. Some said $50. Only 2 of the 15 said they wouldn't be willing to pay. So $50 comes as the average of the highest pricing point and the lowest pricing point. At the end of year 1, our gross profit will be $7,500. And we got that number from servicing 18 total businesses, as well as receiving 150 total payments of $50. Our gross margin percentage will be approximately 100%. The only COGS being subtracted from that will be about 0.1% of each transaction, which comes from credit card service fee. And then our market size at the end of year 1 will be 1% because we are we're servicing 18 out of a total 1,800 athletic local companies.
So we plan to test our solution by connecting 7 businesses with athletes. We will be using the social media platform Instagram, and on our active Instagram profile, we will be performing a giveaway. In this giveaway, athletes will be able to enter by liking, commenting, sharing, and most importantly, creating an athlete profile. Once they create an athlete profile, we're going to make sure that it's actually theirs by manually looking through their social media profiles, and then we will direct message them a code in which they will have to send back to us for us to confirm that it's actually them. The giveaway will consist of an Uprise sponsorship t-shirt, stickers, and a mystery item, depending on the type of athlete that wins. And with this information that we will be gathering from athletes' profiles, we will be able to share with the businesses and show them if they are part of the segment with the various types of athletes. And so we will be looking for a successful MVP. We will see the number of athlete profiles and the number of sponsorships. We're looking for 50 athlete profiles and 7 sponsorships. And with this, we also want to make sure that our customers, which are our businesses, are satisfied with the various types of athletes they're able to contact. Because at the end of the day, they will be the ones that we will receive money from. So we're asking for $150, and what those $150 would be for the expenses of the giveaway and plus the creation of the pamphlets. And the $60 for the t-shirts, $30 for the pamphlets, stickers, and the mystery item. We will need 4 weeks to perform the giveaway, and once the giveaway concludes, we will need another 4 weeks to connect businesses with athletes and try to connect them together. We must be active on a market because we only have one direct channel, which is our landing page. So we must get as many athletes and businesses as possible. And Instagram has been proven successful, so we will continue to use that because we've been able to get many athletes and some businesses along the way. But at the end of the day, Uprise Sponsorship wants to give people a shot to show what they got. So why don't you give us that shot? Thank you.
Can you go to the profile? So if I'm a company looking for people that I want to sponsor, will that profile give me enough information to make a decision on, yeah, that looks like a person I want to sponsor? Would I benefit from like seeing videos of the person, or?
We're planning on making a multiple page profile. This is a mock-up of more like the first page. They're going to be able to see videos and photos of the athletes' previous accomplishments.
Okay.
And also, as you can see, there's social medias there, and a lot of the athletes that we've talked to have posted videos of them doing their sport. So the company has a pretty good idea of like what they're about.
Okay, so I can click on somebody's
Yeah, you
Instagram,
go to their
check them out, and say,
Instagram,
yeah, you want to connect with them.
What kind of businesses did you contact? We contacted mostly ski businesses, just because that's the kind of our expertise right now. We contacted, let's see, J Skis, Shaggy Skis, a couple different smaller companies, like companies that make baklavas and mittens, and the smaller companies who take a much smaller risk when sponsoring an
And
event.
these
Kind of expressed an interest in doing business with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we've been focusing a lot on like winter sports like skiing, but now since like skateboard is coming along, we're gonna focus on those athletes now.
Did you sign up any of the businesses? They said they'd do business with you, did you?
We got in contact with a lot of the company, a few of the company owners actually, but a lot of the company marketing teams who said that once we have a product that they can test out, even if it's not a full product, that they would want to hear back from us and would be willing to sign
And you
up.
said you reached out to 50, 15 replied, and
Yeah.
10 said they were interested?
Yeah, about, which is pretty good.
And that's the problem we've had so far, is that it's hard to sell someone an idea that's not actually there. So if we have a pool of athletes that they can look at and choose, we feel that they'd be a lot more interested in joining our service.
And how have you gone about recruiting athletes?
As a,
So on our Instagram, we have like 130, and then on our Instagram, we also have our landing page on our bio, and we have like around 40 to 50 athletes who've given us their information, their email, phone number, and names. So, and we plan with this MVP, we plan to grow that number. So if we get like 50 here and 50 in the MailChimp, that's over 100 athletes we'll have.
And then would the businesses provide them with a product or something to
Well, the businesses will be able to handpick exactly what kind of athlete they want based on their profiles. And businesses really are looking for, what we found is that businesses are really looking for specifics, how they are acting in their community, how many videos and photos they've posted. And so if we provide the companies with that kind of information, then that's what the companies are looking for in athletes.
What's in it for the company? Do they have a logo that could wear a logo for the
So
business or?
for companies, what companies are looking for in sponsorship is a exposure towards that athlete's following. So for example, with Candy Dovex, he got sponsored by Quicksilver. He's a French skier, and what he did is he gave Quicksilver a lot of customers in the French Alps. So that's what a lot of companies are looking for.
When you say gave them a lot of customers, you mean?
Expose them,
To buy that
influence.
product. or-
Yeah.
to build on that, like, this guy's like posting on social media about Quicksilver and about the products that they gave him, and hopefully that creates a greater following for the company.
Yeah, this is, and marketing is shifting towards something called digital influencers.
Yeah.
So this is maybe a way for a company to say, I want to connect with some people that we think could influence others, and maybe Candid is that person. To build off of that, maybe in the profile, it would be helpful if you would state how many followers
Yeah.
this person has, because then it's like, oh, if that person is exposed to my product and they have 10,000 followers, there's some value there.
Yeah.
And I assume you guys are just connecting the people, you're not negotiating what the sponsorship is,
No.
whether it's a free pair of the gloves or a free pair of the gloves and $100,000 a year if you wear them. Like, that's, you don't care.
Yeah, that's up to
Yeah.
them.
And a lot of times companies, at first we decided that we would try to get some of the money that is happening in sponsorships, but most sponsorships, if not all, don't include money, they include free gear. So we try to stay out of that. We let them talk that through. We're gonna stay out of their conversations.
Okay, so it's just, hey, we'll give this person a pair of our gloves because they influence a lot of others. And
Yeah. Yeah, and they'll wear a logo.
And then the pricing of that you came up with $50, did you ask the question in an open-ended way, like how much would you be willing to pay? Or did you ask the question in a multiple choice way? Would you be willing to pay 25, 50, 75, 100, more than 100?
I asked, actually, a couple of the times I asked them multiple times because we went through and we did a problem interview with the companies, and then we did a solution interview. So in the problem interview, I asked them what range they would be willing to pay, open-ended. And then in the solution interview, I went back and I reviewed those answers, and I gave them a list of 100, over 100, 75, 50, 25 to 0. And they most of them said 50, a couple of them said 0.
75.
And then, yeah,
So-
75, a couple hundred.
Now, what do they get for the $50? Is it just an opportunity to look at your list of athletes?
We're pretty much a database company. So what a lot of companies do is they pay for mailing lists. We are looking for that kind of connection, kind of going to be like a mailing list service.
Yeah, and it just offers like a good marketing strategy for a company.
So I'm going to pay you $50 a month. What do I get?
What you get
Do I
is,
get to sponsor Candy to the well or whatever it is?
what you would get is a streamlined effect, because when companies are looking to give sponsorships, I've asked, and it usually takes them up to a couple months to find the perfect person, and we could chop that down to weeks, if not 1 week, because they wouldn't be sifting through all these different Instagram and Facebook profiles.
So the businesses that you talk to, you're talking to the marketing person, I take it, right?
Yeah.
Can I follow up on what Brian asked in terms of what does the business get?
So you get access to our list of athletes that we have reached. So we would categorize them by sports and stuff like that, and it would be like a spreadsheet or some, like, we imagine it as like a dating profile, I guess. Like you can pick and choose who you want to see. So it's just like it's a more specialized group of people.
So will you, in essence, curate all these athletes who've raised their hand and said, yeah, I'd like a shot at getting sponsorship?
Yes.
And when a company signs up with you, will you then recommend, these are our top 6 picks, but don't trust us, you can also look at these next 20?
Yes.
Or does that even happen?
Yes, we're going to be doing that more likely in the beginning stages until we have too many companies to do that with. But one of the things we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a filtering system. Say you want an athlete that's 25, or say you want an athlete that's under 20, or a skier or snowboarder, or somebody who's won competitions before, or somebody who's still new on the scene. Things like that.
And would the business be looking for an athlete that's got a huge Instagram following or something like that?
Actually, a lot of companies are looking for athletes without huge Instagram followings, because that means they're a minimum risk. And what many companies are looking for is not content that they can use themselves. Say if the company is looking to post things on their Instagram, then they'll sponsor somebody and get those photos and get those videos and post it on their own Instagram.
And you'll provide that to them, or?
Yeah.
I'm just curious, because looking at this profile, I share what Michael's questions were of the messaging seems really static, and I have to read it. And yet these are high, active, intense sports. So wouldn't YouTube, wouldn't that be more prominent rather than static?
Well, it sounds like you can get it by going into their Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, so this would just be like a little
Like you can
preview.
dig into this person.
Like a little preview. And
Yeah, and I'm just thinking as a potential user, next, this is too much work for me, and really
Well,
not attention.
Yeah, but if I was a small company
Mm-hmm.
trying to break in and compete against Burton and others, and I just wanted to, I had a new product that I was launching, I might go to this website for $50, who cares, like it's $600 a year, right?
Yes.
And pick people that have a big following and just give them a pair of my gloves, or give them a pair of my bindings, and say, hey, I'd like to sponsor you. I'd like to, it looks like you're, an up-and-comer. I'd like you to have a set of my bindings for free. The only thing I ask in return
is if you give me some shout outs on your Instagram and give me some feedback on how good they are.
Yeah.
Go rate me on my website,
Right.
give me an endorsement, like,
And I guess it's my.
and I get it in the hands of people that know what they're doing,
Yeah.
that's pretty
I
valuable.
get it, I think your
Last comment here.
messaging can be more lively. In
Right.
other words, I'm thinking of those stupid squirrel videos that we watch of skiing, where
Yeah.
you just can't stop looking at them. So
Right.
make it pop.
Make it pop,
Really,
for
I
sure.
mean, these guys have got their GoPro videos. Don't make me work to find it, in other words,
Yeah.
because that would provide greater value to me if I can work less on it. And I can see, not that this kid has been skiing since they're 2, but look at the crazy stuff that they've been experiencing as a skier. Yeah, this guy should wear my gear,
Yes.
something along those lines.
And there's other verticals besides skiing. I know it's a minimum viable product, so stick with skiing. It sounds like you guys are passionate about it, but don't keep your antenna kind of up for other sports.
Yes.
So the one that seems to be, which is, and it seems to be, have to be individual sports a lot of times, but I don't know if that's totally true, but golf would be one that there's a
Yeah.
lot of young people trying to break into golf and a lot of new equipment coming out with golf and.
Yeah.
Skiing's a
We've
good
got a-
equipment heavy sport though, and the youth of the people that are using, you know, Instagram and everything to
Right.
send out what they're doing and skiing.
There's a lot of different sports, and there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of athletes, different kinds of athletes. that
Yep.
we can- that
We need a number soon here.
All right, go back to the MVP. What were you using the money for again? Sorry.
To push, to give away.
Oh, to get athletes.
Yeah.
As well as legitimize ourselves towards businesses, because one of the biggest problems that we have with businesses is response. And we think that if we have pamphlets and such that we can go to, that we can use at venues, then we can legitimize
Yeah,
ourselves.
when you did your problem interviews, and people said, hey, I'll use it when you have a number of athletes in the program, did they give you a number? Like how big of scale?
They didn't give us a number.
They're not
And your goal is to get 50?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do to tell your customers how well it's working for them? I mean, you know, is there some tangible result that your
Absolutely last question right
your
here.
people can, you know, take home?
A lot of companies will give the number of athletes that they sponsor per year. So if we take the amount that they take per year, kind of pile that all together, then we can say, through this service, we will take probably half of those sponsorships, and we'll connect you with half of those companies that are willing to pair with five athletes per year.
We got a number?
150 is fine, I guess, right?
All right.
Guys,
Good job. Thank you.
Yeah.